Good evening. Many parts of our region fell silent this morning to commemorate Armistice Day. Services were held to remember those who have died while serving in the armed forces. In Bradford, people gathered in Centenary Square to remember, reflect and pray. Michelle Lyons was among them.
Armistice, which literally translates from Greek to mean ceasing of arms, the stopping of arms. Poignant that we meet today in times when arms are still being used around the world to kill and to maim.
The Dean of Bradford led a short service paying tribute to all those who'd lost their lives in battle at a time when wars rage around the world. Then, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, Centenary Square in Bradford fell silent in memory of those who lost their lives in war.
It's such a poignant day to reflect back on people who were brave enough and the heroism to give their lives so that we may be free today. Sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional about that.
The events of Remembrance Weekend are about us stopping and saying, can we have the imagination to see beyond the present to a future where we can all live together, where we do flourish together?
And for one ex-serviceman amongst the crowd who paid his respects, he looks forward to next year's service when his efforts for a new war memorial will be realised.
In Bradford, we've been very forward in establishing a Commonwealth War Memorial, which will be the only war memorial outside London and based in the north of England.
For many who attended today's service, it was a time to remember those they'd loved and lost in conflicts around the world, both past and present. Michelle Lyons, BBC Look North, Bradford.
Meanwhile, in North Yorkshire, campaigners who installed a plaque to remember servicemen from the Caribbean also marked Armistice Day. Thousands of volunteers trained in Hunmanby near Filey, but the town council hasn't allowed a tribute to be placed in their memorial gardens. The current plaque is on a house near the seafront. Relatives of the servicemen are continuing their campaign for inclusion in the town's memorial gardens. The council say they've offered alternative locations. And in South Yorkshire, a mother and son have spent the past year making poppies from old plastic bottles. Leon and Kim Clemetshaw have created 8,000 of these recycled plastic poppies. They represent the fallen soldiers in Doncaster, and you can see them at St Peter's Church in Conisbrough. In other news, several hundred people attended a rally in Sheffield calling for a ceasefire in Gaza.
What do we want? Ceasefire! What do we want now?
People set off on a march from Burngreave earlier and finished at the town hall. The event was organised by a number of groups, including the Sheffield Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Their aim was to hold a peaceful protest, and so far South Yorkshire Police haven't reported any incidents. Now, the Flying Scotsman steam train has returned to the city it was built in to mark its 100th anniversary. The engine was built in the LNER works in Doncaster in 1923. It was used to pull an express service along the East Coast main line in between London and Edinburgh. Well, it's now usually housed in the National Railway Museum in York, but thousands of people are expected to attend a ticketed event in Doncaster this weekend to see it up close. Let's take a look at the weather now. Here's Abby Dewhurst.
Hello there. Dry and clear overnight tonight, so it's going to be a chilly start to the day tomorrow. Dry and bright initially, but it will turn cloudy with some rain arriving later. For a time this evening, though, under clear skies, there is a chance of seeing the northern lights, but we will see a little bit more patchy cloud building in the early hours of tomorrow morning, with temperatures dropping off to around freezing points. So a cold and, for some, frosty start to the day tomorrow with a few patches of mist and fog. Some early brightness, but giving way to more cloud. That's ahead of some showery rain that we'll start to see arriving tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures for tomorrow very similar to today, reaching around 9 or 10 degrees Celsius. Showers or longer spells of rain forecast for next week, but we'll see our temperatures recover so it won't feel quite as chilly.
Thanks, Abby. We're back tomorrow at 4:20. Bye-bye.